Okay. The way you can explain that is your knocking knuckles line up. Okay. So when you're dealing with the kids, use that knocking knuckles. Now, go ahead and grip the bat. Now, one way you can tell, go ahead and with your index fingers hold them straight out. Okay. If you're holding it correctly, they're going to be straight out like this. If the knuckles are incorrect, they're going to go different ways. Now, each team has a Mattingly bat. The Mattingly bat is specifically for this. It'll line their hands up correctly for them. It's uncomfortable to do it any other way. And that's why we got the Mattingly bats this year. Okay? So, that's one thing. Okay, now go ahead and put your index fingers down. Now go ahead into your relaxed position, ready to hit. Okay, now I'm going to have you turn the opposite way. Now, what you should see here is this bat is slicing his helmet right in half on a diagonal. Now, one of the things that you'll hear a lot of adults or a lot of parents say, get the elbow up. Let me show you what happens when his elbow goes up. Now, he's intentionally moved his hands, which isn't bad, and it's still cutting his head. What will happen with most kids is if they're like this and you put the elbow up, that's what happens to the bat. Now, it's not that the elbow can't be up. There's a fairly good hitter by the name of Tony Gwynn. You look at him, his elbow's up. But the key to that is, just like James had, even if his elbow's up, it's where the bat is that's so important, where his hands are. So if they've got their elbows up and they've got that bat in the correct position, don't change it. But if they're sitting here like this with the bat out and their elbow up, deal with the hands. Get their hands up. Make sure that bat is cutting their helmet. Okay? Now, Mike brought a couple of the Mattingly bats. Go ahead and pass these. Got what it calls the D grip, and that's going to help them grip so that. And it's not a bad thing if they get up to that tee and the first thing they do is check their knuckles. That's not a bad thing.
My daughter who's 10 years old, my son, my 8-year-old son, kind of makes fun of her, but every time she goes up to get set up, she's doing this. Even if she's not looking at it, just to have it.
Okay. Now, you basically, for hitting, you've got a couple different positions. As they get ready, they're going to be here. That bat should be cutting their head in half, but they're really not ready to hit yet. From here, this is a relaxed position. From here, they should go into a loaded position. Even on T-ball, they should get more of their weight back. They should get their hands just a little bit farther back, and they should have about 70% of the weight on their back leg. Now, the reason it's so important, even in T-ball, it's not that we're trying to teach them to hit home runs right now. It's that the next step from here, the next thing they do from here, if they're loaded, is they turn. The knob should go right towards the pitcher. Now, one of the best things you can do to teach a kid to hit, take them over to Chollas Lake, have them get a rock and start skipping the rock. Because the motion of their back arm goes right into their chest. That's the motion. From here to here. I'm left-handed, but I bat right-handed. So when I demonstrate this, I throw left-handed. But if I were batting left-handed, that motion is them skipping the rock. And when they're successful skipping the rock, it's the same thing they're doing when they're hitting. Now, we go from here to here, palms up, palms down. Now, they're not going to stop when they're hitting here, but that's exactly where they should be. And then from here, they follow through on their swing. Okay? Who wants to show me where a hitter should stand with this tee right here? Somebody other than James. Take your chance.
Where did you stand?
Yeah. Okay? So, now go ahead and load up. Now, take the first steps to where you're putting the knob, just the knob towards the pitcher, and then stop there. Okay? Now, come through. Stop right here. Okay. Now, basically, what's happening right here is that we have a pitch that's right over the middle of the plate that he's hitting behind it. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do from here, one of the biggest problems, and you did a good job, by the way. One of the biggest problems with tees is they make it look like a home plate. So they make it look like you should have it sitting on home plate. The reality is that tee should be right there. Now, go ahead, stand in the same place. Go ahead and then stop it right there. Okay, stop it right there. Right there, he's in a nice power position, hands up, hands down. It's in the middle of the plate, and his bat is exactly straight. That's where you should be hitting a ball. Back here, if he's hitting back here, he's hitting the ball the opposite way. Right now on T-ball, we don't want to teach him to hit opposite way or to pull it. If we're going to teach him to pull it, we're going to have the tee way up here. Okay? You don't want to teach them that. And right now, we just want to get it so that they're learning to hit in the middle of the plate. So now what you don't want to do is set the tee up like this and then have them move forward again. Okay?
Set them up basically on a real push.
Yeah. Set them up like they were going to be having a pitcher.
What I've done to help with the kids is I take the bat and I draw a line actually on the ground of where I want their feet to be at, and that's where their feet are always going to be at.
Yeah.
And that way they know where to be at, and then once they get used to that, they just naturally walk up to the plate.
Yep. Yeah. You can absolutely do that. You can tell them that their front foot can't be past the plate. Whatever triggers it for them, those are great things. You guys are going to be the ones putting the ball on tee. Don't let them scoot up here. As you get ready for ball on tee, oh, wait a minute. Scoot back, scoot back. But again, what we want to do is teach them to hit that ball right here out front. Now, again, you can't do all this in one practice. By now, on a 5-year-old player, you would have lost them. Okay, so we're gonna explain this. We're gonna explain out about 3 different practices right now, and then we'll have you try it out. Now, from here, once you're in the relaxed position, then you load them up. You get about 70% of your weight back. What you can do from here, you can have every kid with a bat, whether it's a broomstick, whatever it might be. Make sure they all have helmets on. You can have them spread out and go ahead and go through this with them to where they're not hitting anything. They're just practicing the swing. So what I'm going to do is have each of you grab a bat. Right now, we're going to go ahead and do that. Ed's got some water here.